Once again, you already know what it is and you already know where you have reached. The number one professional wrestling collaborative podcast anywhere in the world. This is Clash of the Podcast. The man to my immediate right, my good friend and brother, is the host and founder of Everything Pro Wrestling. His name is Conrad Cushman. The man you're looking at talking right now is the founder and host and CEO, whatever you want to call me, of Hubbard Wrestling Weekly Combat Sports. And together, we are your co-host of Clash of the Podcast. We're going to be talking about the Great Muta. We're going to be talking about Royal Rumble. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. We're going to get mad. We're going to get glad. We're going to get happy. We're going to get sad. All that good stuff right here on Clash of the Podcast. Intro time. Let's get it.
Welcome, everybody, to Clash of the Podcast. Today is lucky number 21. I keep having that Jake the Snake promo playing in my head. You want to play 21? Well, I've got 22. One of the worst wrestling pay-per-views of all time. Do not ever pay to watch that. Ever. Ever. Pay people who review it. That's what I say. Pay people who review it for you. What is going on, everybody? I appreciate everyone in the chat who came out to hear us talk a little pro wrestling tonight before Raw 30th anniversary. We got a lot to talk about and get into. Shout out to Joel in the chat talking about Sean looking fresh. We were just talking about the Baldy, baby. Respect the Baldy in the chat, all right? Throw us a like, man, tonight. That is the best way to help out Clash of the Podcast. Here's what I want you guys to do if you really do want to help out. Hit a like on this video. Like button helps us get into the YouTube algorithm. When you're watching some popular wrestling video, we're going to start popping up. Right. So that's the easiest way to help out. Number two, you want to subscribe to Everything Pro Wrestling, but also subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly on the YouTubes. He talks boxing, combat sports. Sean's got it all on his channel as well. We're trying to do this to help each other out, so make sure you're subscribed to both of those. We also have audio platforms. Subscribe to both of us. Leave us a 5-star review. Just saw we got a new 5-star review on Apple Podcast on my side of things. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated. And those go a long way as well. And leaving comments help as well. And talking in the chat helps. Get in here. Get interactive. I'm going to pull your stuff up. Yes, all right?
Loving it, man. So how you feeling, Conrad, man? Let's talk a little bit about some wrestling.
Let me shout out the chat here because the chat's going a little buck wild real quick. What up, Jason? He's hyped for Raw tonight. I see it. Doug in the house saying, "Hey yo, I see you throwing up the palm for the Derek order on the Dynamite streams. Watching the new Ric Flair doc on Peacock. So far, so good. I've learned things that I didn't know about him. I never got the chance to watch that. Did you watch that?
I watched it.
What did you think?
It was good because I didn't think that they could do much more than what they did with the ESPN one, but it turns out the Peacock one was pretty darn good.
Okay, that's different. See, it just didn't capture me. I was like, what more can you do? I thought that ESPN one was so good. So good when they came
out. WWE's the best in documentaries.
Yeah, they're good at when they can put their spin on it too.
In documentaries, WWE's the best. That's it.
This is presetting the mood for tonight, everybody. So brace yourselves.
They do a great job
shout out to
the past because that's when they were actually. Never mind. Let me stop.
Shout out to Derek in the chat. I see you, bro. XGW, what's going on, fam? Appreciate you guys popping in.
Derek, appreciate you guys. Derek, Joel, I see y'all.
Doug saying hashtag we want Mountie. I gotta heckle y'all. Listen, we love Mountie too, man. Respect to Mountie. So much love to him as well. Ninja Boy. I met him yesterday in another stream for Juggernaut. Shout out to Juggernaut. He said he was going to come over and subscribe. Welcome, man. Come on in. We're going to talk a lot of topics tonight about wrestling. So I hope you're ready to talk. Your boy. Go ahead, Sean. Show him the love, man. I like your intro for Matt Lopez.
ML, my guy. What up, baby? What's going on? Appreciate you, my G.
We got Damon McKinney in the house as well. What's good? He said, I'm here to talk wrestling and let y'all know that the bird is the word. We ain't trying to talk football, neither of us right now.
This is a bad day for the Giants, bad day for the Bills. But shout out to McKinney, man. You know what I'm saying? He's been hard on me with some things, but I gotta give him respect because one thing about me, Conrad will attest to this. If I'm wrong or if I need to have my opinion altered a little bit, you tell me when I'm wrong. McKinney's called me out on some things, and he's been very classy. When I'm right, he gives me my props, and I want to give him props too. Shout out to McKinney.
Let me see here. Ninja Boy, if you check some of our past episodes, we've been covering this in detail, and we'll be covering it continuously in the weeks. We actually have a break this week from talking crazy Vince McMahon news, but yeah, we'll get into it. Hit me up privately about that because I don't know what you're speaking of. This Saturday feels electrifying. That's what we got behind us here, a little electricity. Cray, what's good, man? Bald men are the hardest non-lazy workers in the world. Shaving the whole head daily is a job. Yo, tell them, bro. I be upstairs, man. I'm like, yo, I need to block off time to do this. Like, this takes a minute.
I don't deny that, but keeping the hairline crispy and keeping the fade tight is also a lot of work.
It is, man. It is, especially if you're getting wavy out in these streets. If you're getting wavy, that's rough too.
Just saying.
He says WWE Ducks are full of bull. They are sometimes. I will agree.
Oh, big shout out to Positively E. I think WWE, and I was being very sarcastic and serious at the same time, I think WWE does a great job with the docs, man. Unfortunately, their weekly television sucks, but like I think the docs are pretty top notch.
History is written by the winners. Remember that while you're watching it, for sure.
All right.
He's talking about games. Derek says, my guy Hubbs.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Derek.
Matt Lopez says, thank you. Who up in here talking about Coco Beware? You better be talking about Frankie. That's who you need to be talking about. Leave my man Coco alone. Buy him a beer. Sean, you don't respect us. Acknowledge us.
I respect it, man. I understand what bald people have to deal with. I was just giving Conrad the ultimate compliment. I told him that he pulled the trigger earlier than he had to because he didn't have to. But he decided, he wasn't quite in LeBron James territory, but he decided to pull the trigger prematurely. I respect his decision, but I still
a future guest for us. What are you doing?
But no, I mean that's a compliment. I think you pulled the trigger too soon. It looks good, but you didn't have to do it.
Listen, when you got the round head, man, it's all right. As long as my head isn't all.
That's fact.
Y'all let me know. Y'all would dog me. McKinney says respect right back. That's why I love it here. Appreciate you, man. Sure. And that's why I'm glad you guys all pop in. Connor's excited for Raw tonight as well. The Balties are the head of the table.
I respect it, man. I hear you.
Who's your favorite wrestler? He's asking us right now. Ninja Boy, I'm gonna let you get this question, and then we're gonna start popping off with some of this.
Go ahead, Conrad.
Who you feeling right now? I don't know. I'm gonna stick with CM Punk. CM Punk's still my guy. I feel like he still speaks to me, and he gives people motivation to do some good things still.
I'm so annoyed at myself because I'm gonna go chalk, as they would say, if you're picking a bracket. I mean Roman Reigns, but isn't that kind of like the easy answer?
Ain't nothing wrong with that though. That's who you're feeling right now. That's who we're feeling. Right. Rob in the house. You remember the Big Daddy story with Coco and Frankie? Yo, get out of here talking about that. Oh yeah, we'll do that. No, we do not use that on the dome. That is for something else. That lawnmower that we had before.
Oh my god, I even know what you're talking about. That's for something else.
They wildin', bro.
Oh my
Sean,
god.
what is the first topic you want to bring up tonight, man? I'm gonna let you kind of guide the ship here.
Well, I wanna get to the legendary stuff first, and then we're gonna get on, my rant, soapbox, and then we're gonna get to let's do Muda, let's do Raw, and let's do the Rumble. Let's talk about the great.
Oh, and there'll be a little WWE 2K23 news for you guys.
Yes, most definitely. This past weekend, we celebrated the celebrated the career with the final match of the legendary Great Muta. It was billed the Great Muta Final Bye-Bye, an amazing event that took place at the Yokohama Arena. It just goes without saying, how important and how tremendous this gentleman was to the world of professional wrestling. Countless 5-star matches with people like Vader and Sting and Ric Flair. And I mean, he was, truly one of those guys that was truly priceless in his efforts, along with New Japan, to bridge the gap, I should say, between WCW and New Japan. By the way, WCW New Japan's relationship back in the 90s was probably one of the first of its kind. There have been promotions that have worked together before, and obviously we know the relationship between New Japan and American Wrestling in 2023. But back in the mid 90s, 1995, Starrcade 1995, New Japan was very prominently presented during WCW's most prominent pay-per-view event. But this past January 22nd, we had Great Muta in a six-man tag. He actually, I believe he has one more match to go where he's not going to be wrestling as the Great Muta, but I think this is the last appearance that he's made as the Great Muta. It was a six-man tag with him, Sting, and Darby Allin. I just think it was really a really honorable way to send off this legend. He can still move, he can still work, but obviously he's decided that he wants to shut it down, and how can you blame him? He's getting older. I got a lot of respect for him, man. Do you have any fond memories? Oh, and if you haven't seen it, please make sure you go to fight.tv. It is available there on demand. And I promise you, and I'm sure Conrad will agree, it was a good show. And one thing I got to say, Conrad, I'm going to give you the floor, man. Number one, please talk to the people about your probably undeniable respect for Muta as I had. But also, why is it that Japanese arenas have the most beautiful ambiance, man? Like, I'm a big, arena guy. Like, that arena was amazing. Like, the way they set it up. Was it just me?
I love the way that it looks. So that was one of the beautiful things about this. I don't even know where I want to start with this. Getting into the event, the arena looks great. There is something about the way Noah sets up their arenas. In the background, it just says Pro Wrestling Noah, but it's lit up with all these lights. But it looks so cool because the crowd isn't right there, but they're reacting to everything. They're into it. I really love it. And I thought that I put out the tweet saying that I thought it would be cool if All Elite Wrestling had something similar to that when they do like a dome show or a really big show. Like, put your background with those lights on it, man. Like, let people know you're here. Like, this is what's going on. I thought it was really cool that Noah had that background. It reminded me of playing like those old Nintendo 64 games. Yes. If that makes any sense. You get, like, the WrestleMania 2000 in the background. That's the stuff that I really miss in pro wrestling. That's just me being like a stage nerd when it comes to it. But I love it.
Sounds like we're speaking the same language, bro. I'm a stage nerd as well. I'm all about long walkways and runways. I'm all about super awesome, cool setups for stages. I love it, man.
Right. Yeah, that was really good. I don't know, man. And getting back to what you mentioned with WCW, that's how I actually ended up getting into freaking just New Japan in general. The wrestlers that I always credit to, like, who put me on to New Japan, I guess, would be Great Muta, Jushin Thunder Liger, Masahiro Chono, and I think it was Suzuki back in the day who came out there. I mean, you knew about Great Kabuki, but that was just because people would mention it to me, like my dad and uncle and all them would bring up, like, yeah, Great Kabuki's that guy from Japan, and I was just like, oh, okay. But it's definitely something different when you come and look at all of it. And I just loved it, man. I remember like Muta and Barry Windham, Muta versus Sting, Muta versus Arn Anderson. Like, the dude definitely has done it all when it comes to pro wrestling.
And about Muta's career with he was like a part-timer, full-timer, if that makes any sense. He was the WCW World Television Champion.
He was the WCW World Champion for a little bit.
Right.
He was out there, or I'm sorry, was that the international title at the time? He held the big gold belt.
I let it go because you're right, and because the international thing is so stupid. But technically, yeah. But you're right. He was the world champion.
Yeah, Muta held it down for them for a while, and even towards the end in 2000, he was the tag champion. I got to see Muta live one time. Only time I ever got to see Muta live. I went to Fall Brawl 2000, and it was a very cool moment to get to see that. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up this photo real quick, and it doesn't give away anything, but it's the beginning photo of the match here for Muta. You see Great Kabuki ended up coming out, and this is the picture they took before the match started. Like, look at Darby Allin is really in a great position to be out there able to get in the ring with Sting, Muta, and Great Kabuki and take that picture. You know? So definitely worth it.
He's getting some Hall of Fame rub.
Yeah, and Hakushi was out there. I haven't seen Hakushi in years, and they were out there just doing their darn thing. It's a good match. Go back and check it out on Fight, like Sean said. We just had to make sure that we snuck that in here to that people know.
Because I've been doing this the last couple of weeks, so I'm going to say this is the Hub sleeper match of the night. We're going to start making this a small 30-second segment. The Hub sleeper match of the night. Hakushi, 1-2-3 Kid, SummerSlam 1995. You'll thank me later.
Right? Somebody said you went to Fall Brawl 2000. Wow, so lucky. Actually, I only went because my buddy's dad had tickets. We had tickets for like the 300s. We were supposed to be sitting super high. Someone just gave them to him, probably for doing work or something. And I just have this fond memory. I went with his family. We were sitting there. We go to go sit in our seats, and the ticket guy's there, and he's like, "Oh no, you guys aren't sitting there anymore." I'm like, "What?" He was like, "I need you guys to go all the way down there." And we're like, "To the 200s?" And he was like, "No, to the 100s." And I was like, "What?" So, because not enough people were going to WCW at the time. And I remember that was the first time I was ever near Booker T's Flames. Bro, I never started sweating so bad in an instant. We never knew that, though, back then. We're right next to the Flames, and then Booker T's coming out. Right, he was doing all that raising the roof stuff back then. It was just wild, man. Just different.
Love it. So, yes, make sure you guys check out Bye Bye Great Muta finale on Fight TV. Excuse me. Make sure you check it out. It's worth the watch. He did very well for himself. Obviously, you would imagine that Muta would get the win in his final match. I won't give it away, but I think logic will tell you that. But either way, a great watch. Make sure you check it out on Fight.tv. And let's get into the main event. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, Monday Night Raw 30, whatever.
You know what? Let's transition. I'll let you pick what's next after this. Let me get this WWE stuff out the way. I see there's some people in the chat. They were excited about this, man. A lot of people were excited about this. John Cena is on the cover of all three video games right here. One is the standard edition, which is the one all the way to the left over my face. We also have the deluxe edition where he's rocking the United States title with that's the word life. That was the Cena I liked. I liked him then. Yeah. And then you've got the Icon edition, which is just the reign of terror that he was on back in the day, just destroying people. But if you're a John Cena fan, you're obviously going to love it. There is a lot going on with this. They had a trailer that came out today. It looks like it's getting released on March 17th, 2023. But if you pre-order the game, depending on which edition you get, you will get it on March 14th. The standard edition will contain a copy of the game. You get it for previous gen platforms, current gen $69.99, previous gen $59.99. They'll also have it for PC, so you just get the basic game. Cross-gen edition, you can buy both digitally for PlayStation and Xbox. Deluxe, it's going to be available for all those systems. You will also get the Bad Bunny bonus pack, Sean. Bad Bunny out here in these streets. You can also get the season pass. You get 5 post-launch DLC packs. The deluxe edition will also contain My Rise Mega Boost and Supercharging packs. Get your head start in the game. You get My Rise mode. You're going to get a bunch of those My Faction cards. I'm not even getting into any of that hot giggity garbage. And then you have the Icon edition, which is $120. Bruh, I gotta put us up for this. $120 for this game. It's a yearly title, bruh. But you get some cool stuff in this. So you're gonna get all the same stuff that I mentioned before. You're celebrating 20 years of John Cena's career playing as John Cena's early prototype character. So you're going to get that character. You're going to get Leviathan Batista during his time in OVW, as long as rookie versions of OVW of Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. You get the John Cena Legacy Championship in the WrestleMania 22 arena, and they give you a bunch more of those My Faction cards. Quite interesting. What's new in this game? 2K Showcase is going to have John Cena. He's going to be in the ring. He's going to have some of his little accolades popping up. It sounds like you're supposed to go up against the man known as John Cena in some of these matches. So it's going to be going over his whole 20-year career for who they could have access to. They've also added in war games. Fan favorite, chaotic, action-packed war games makes its way into the game. You can do 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4, multiplayer mayhem inside 2 side-by-side rings surrounded by a double steel cage. My GM, you can actually customize your own GMs this year, it sounds like. So, okay, cool. You got the My Faction. They've added online elements to it. Not my favorite mode. My Rise mode, you get to do the career basically. Universe mode, didn't really say too much what they've added. Sounds like they've added a rework story system in. And Creation Suite, they added some managers and such in there as well. What do you think, Sean? What do you give us some of your words here while I got these screenshots popping up for people?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think that obviously you see, the screenshots of the wrestlers coming down. I think it's obviously a great game from the perspective of graphics. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to go back to the prehistoric days. I think WWE's figured that out. What WWE has not figured out, though, is the little things. And the little things are, we want wrestlers to come down the aisle if they're double champions with 2 belts. We want factions to be able to come out with, factions of 4 instead of just factions of 3. We want that. We want different entrances. We want all the entrances. And for the love of God, why can't we have all the music? I mean, one year you have Evolution music, the next year you don't. One year you have DX music, the next year you don't. What are you holding us back for? We don't need... We don't want the game to be that complicated. Like, okay, well, you know what? They don't have Evolution music, so I got to go through the generic garbage to try and figure out what happens to, how I can make it work. No, just give us all the music, put it and give it to us and put it to our disposal, and also just make double champions be able to come out with both belts. If you give us that, I'm happy.
And those seem like reasonable things, and it's things that we've had too, like you said. Like, I really wish that we would get that going. Jocelyn, I see you, Miss Jocelyn. Thank you for joining us. I see you on the Twitch listening to us. Cray said, and AEW still no release date. AEW is a different situation with their video game, my friend. They built something from the ground up. You can't expect them. They took you on a journey, like, we're making this in the process of, versus the 2K, they are marketing. That's what they do. There are people, they have divisions who sit in the room and they set that up. AEW doesn't have that quite yet. They're still trying to figure out how to put the puzzle together, I think. Jocelyn said all 3 designs look amazing. I like the gold cover. Malik Gordon says, I'm excited, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. That's the best thing to do when it comes to video games, my friend. Never get your hopes up. Whatever happened to just putting in the work and earning your levels up and unlockable characters? They need that bread, baby.
Yep.
Still need that date for video games. And B-Boy Skyline says music rights cost money, but don't you own the music so that you can use it anyway? Why don't you just add a video game clause in there?
The words right out of my mouth, Conrad. I mean, I understand what you're saying, B-Boy Skyline, but make it work. Make it work. For the love of God. For $120, you damn sure better make it work.
Right? And I've for the generic theme, Sean, I don't know if you've played the games recently, but my song is always better have my money. I ain't got your money.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's always my character song when I play it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna still end up getting this. We'll see. I'm pretty weird. If I hear something that's like super discouraging, I'll be mad. Bad Bunny, one of the best workers in the Fed. People have been wanting him though. They were asking last year about him. Kyra, I got a Nintendo Switch. Yeah, listen, if you get that PS5, send me a DM, man. I'll give you the request. I'll give you the name. You can get that work too. I'm still waiting for Derek to show up. Derek talks that mess too. 2K ain't trying to pay for all that WWE music. Ruckus told Fightful that AEW's themes are all going to be in the game. Hold it, doesn't change. Yeah, I hope that's the same. Eric Douglas, what's going on? What's good, bro? We're going to get into some Royal Rumble action here in a second. $120. That game better have a full-size ring that comes with it.
Yes, sir.
Now we're starting to sound like our parents. War Games is only in the PC. That has been confirmed to be War Games and Survivor Series. I was doing my homework a little bit before we got on. So shout out to the fine folks over there at Smack Talks and such. I'm going to go ahead and pre-order it. See, people are excited. They're excited. Spider-Man 2 looks good as well. Listen, you guys keep that video game talk going. Sean, where are we going next, bro? We talking Raw or we talking Rumble?
We're talking Raw and the atrocity that is WWE, because I'm freaking mad. All right, guys.
It's triple X tonight. By the way, if you Google Raw triple X, if you go about you can't go more than 4 levels down, because if once you hit 5,
Of
you
course.
might be getting in trouble.
Of course. I think we put two and two together. So tonight is the 30th anniversary of Raw. Let's start with the historical significance. Obviously, in January 1993, the game changed forever. For those of us old enough to remember, I believe Conrad and I were probably in the 5, 6, 7-year-old range when primetime wrestling was out. And it literally it took a 2-week break on USA, and 2 weeks later, Monday Night Raw debuted. Very cool concept, very cool experience to have as a wrestling fan. Live wrestling on a Monday night is awesome, and it's still awesome 30 years later. The unfortunate part is that the product is not what it used to be. Couple historical facts: Undertaker and HBK were on the first Raw ever, and they will be appearing tonight. Hogan will be appearing tonight. There's several superstars, Flair's coming back, but one guy who we hope might come back seems to not. And I'm going to say seems because I have no inside information, but let me tell you about what I was ranting to Conrad all weekend about via text message. I was very upset because there's certain things that you just can't do when you're a multi-million-dollar, borderline billion-dollar company. Obviously, WWE's made a lot of mistakes. I'm not here to pile on today. We've already talked about that. I'm sure we'll talk about it again. The problem is, though, specifically to this night. Last week it was announced that there was going to be an acknowledgement ceremony for Roman Reigns, okay? On a dime, it was changed to tribal court for Sami Zayn. Sean, why are you getting so upset? Sean, why are you so upset? Sean, why are you mad about this? We know WWE's kind of sucked lately. What are you so upset about? What's so different? I'm going to tell you what's different. I'm assuming, no, I'm not going to go on a rant tonight, but I think what I'm about to say is going to make a lot of sense, McKinney and everybody else. Just hear me out. I've said from day one that I didn't think Rock coming back was a good idea, but I never said it wasn't good for business. Everybody knows Rock coming back is good for business. I'd be a fool to say anything else. The indication of a Raw acknowledgement ceremony for Roman Reigns obviously gave the impression that The Rock was either going to come back or there was going to be some mention of Rock on Raw that would lead us to believe that he'll be appearing either at Royal Rumble or sometime on the road to WrestleMania to eventually fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Now, that still may happen. Maybe, as my esteemed colleague and friend Conrad said over the weekend, maybe it's a swerve. Maybe they're just trying to throw us off track. And if they are throwing us off track, this is one of the times I'd be more than happy to be wrong. Okay? Because once again, though I don't think The Rock is necessary for WrestleMania, I'm not a fool. I know Rock at WrestleMania means big money and big business, and I would be excited to see him. The problem is this. If Rock, between last week and this week, canceled, or if Rock's people said, sorry, Rock, sorry, Dwayne, you can't do it. Whatever may have happened between last week and what was it, Conrad, Saturday?
I believe so.
Whatever happened between then and now, you should never put yourself or your fans in that position. Meaning, you have to confirm, you morons, you have to confirm that The Rock is going to be a part of this thing before you announce a storyline curve that's going to make everyone think that The Rock is going to be here. Everybody thought, and rightfully so, that the acknowledgement ceremony was going to be a segue to The Rock coming back. You have to confirm that. How dare you, WWE, put out that there's going to be an acknowledgement ceremony. Put out that there's going to be a storyline curve that's going to indicate The Rock's return, not necessarily tonight on Raw, but The Rock's imminent return between now and WrestleMania. And then on a dime, ladies and gentlemen, on a dime, you act like we didn't see the change? I mean, how ignorant do you think we are? You said it was going to be a Roman Reigns acknowledgement ceremony, and now it's tribal court for Sami Zayn. I see you, McKinney. It better be a work. It better be a work, because I'm going to tell you guys something right here and now. Conrad, tell me I'm wrong or not. Chat, tell me I'm wrong or not. If we get to and beyond WrestleMania weekend and The Rock is not a part of it, every one of you guys should look back to this day and say, what a cornball amateur move by WWE by not being prepared to know that The Rock wasn't going to come, but instead you put out a feeler that The Rock is coming and then had to change it at the last minute. It's amateur hour. It's Bush League. It's corny and it's insulting. It better be a work, Ransom. It better be a work. And if it's a work, I'd be more than happy to say I was wrong. It was a work. It better be a work, because I'm sure you all would agree. And Conrad, help me out. If it's not a work, this is the most amateur, corny crap that we've seen in a long time. Tell me I'm wrong.
It should be a weekly thing. No, I think that
it better be a work, right? It better be a work.
It should be a work. Listen, this is either going to be the smartest thing that they've done to try to make a save, or it's going to be bad news for them. I mean, listen, either way, I think if The Rock came back, I think he would be getting the Batista treatment. He would get booed. And I also think Cody, yeah, I saw the echo. I think it's good now, right? Let me know, chat.
Echo in your end? Was that echoing?
They had it before for a second. I don't know why, but the situation with The Rock could definitely be better. I mean,
wait, not to cut you off, bro. Not to cut you off. Do me this favor. Talk to me about how amateur it would be. Just roll with me on this one, please.
It would be very bad that they set up a segment without confirmation of having The Rock.
That's all I'm saying.
Unless they're going to say Rock bailed on them at the last second, which could be a thing too. Here's the truth of the matter. The Rock has wanted to retire since that match with Cena. He was asked before, like, yo, dog, are you going to wrestle again? And he was like, no, I'm done. The Rock said he got hurt the last 2 times he wrestled. He's like, nah, I'm done, man. And he looked gassed in the beginning. I'm not trying to be funny. The Rock was tired, bro. The Rock is 50 years old. He ain't out here doing it like he used to. I don't know at this point what to expect, what people expect from The Rock or what people are expecting them to do in these situations. But maybe The Rock's also very political. He ain't going to go out there if Vince is connected to this stuff. Like, nah, fam, that's not a good idea. Are you sure Vince isn't going to be there? Now you're playing that game. Well, it's my company. I can be wherever I want.
Conrad, you're my brother. I love you, man. But this is not what. No. We got to stay focused here, brother. And I know let's focus. Help me. Listen, please. I'm begging you. I know I cut you off. You know I got love for you, bro. You can't do this, Conrad. You can't, as WWE. Okay, maybe so, Ransom. If that's the case, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be WWE's fault, but my God, man. My God. If that's the case, devil's advocate, if that's the case, then you leave it as an acknowledgement ceremony and you make alterations from there. Don't you think, Ransom, big shout out to Matthew, I appreciate that. Don't you think, guys, that if something changed between the announcement of the Ascension or acknowledgement ceremony, if something changed, that they shouldn't insult our intelligence to literally think that they can change the notion or the notification of the show on the website without anybody picking up on it? Because that's how it was done, Conrad. That's how it was done, chat. They changed it on a dime. There's been no mention of acknowledgement ceremony since they made that change.
Yeah, but Is it bad, Sean, that I'm used to it at this point, dealing with the Vince Raws over a year ago? That you one day you would hear that Sean, tonight's matchup is going to be Conrad versus Sean, and then Conrad versus Sean ain't even on the show, but you showed the graphic at 7:30 on your site still that the match was happening. They don't know, maybe, and maybe this is a sign that Vince is back. I don't know how to take any of this. He's definitely being consulted with on what's going on in the television program. It's clear at this point. So
it better be a work. Now it's almost like for somebody like me, and maybe I'm in the minority, maybe I am, but for people like me, now The Rock has to show up. Now it has to be a work because now I'm losing respect for the company every single day. They get worse and worse and worse with their professionalism, with their standards and practices. It gets cornier and cornier. Don't get your hopes up for Raw 30, guys. Don't get your hopes up. I wouldn't get my hopes up if I were you.
I mean, look at the last, what was it? Raw 15 was the first one where they celebrated it. I don't think there was a 10th one, but I remember Raw 15 was Raw 20 was okay, and then here we are. Raw 25.
Raw 25 was trash.
Yeah. I just saw the segment with where FTR basically got put down by DX, and I was just like, why did you do that to them? Like, it didn't help at all, and then it just, I don't know, it was weird. We got more than that, though, on the show tonight. But let's run through some of this. We do have a bunch of legends who are going to be popping up. All your classic favorites. Ric Flair. You got Undertaker. Hopefully he doesn't want to do this thing one more time. You got DX, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H out here. And you've got brother who barely ever appeared on Raw. Teddy Long will be out there. They get their usual. It looks like 2K15. When we talk about rosters that don't make sense, that's what it looks like. Wow. So they're going to have a bunch of people out there for it. And hold on. Damon, card subject to change. Yes, I know it always says that. That's their get out of jail free, but that doesn't mean people won't be disappointed. That doesn't mean people won't request refunds.
You can't say that, man. I hear you, but at the same time, it's like, come on now. You know, like you just can't insult the fans. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm in the minority about that, but I just think it's insulting. I think it's insulting to change things on a dime like that and think we're not going to notice.
I'm not going to lie. I've read like 3 things in this chat that I have no idea what people are talking about, and I'm like, what is happening with this? I am cut off from the world with a lot of this stuff that happens on the outside of like the pro wrestling stuff. I'm like, what? Yep. Somebody said get Hogan out of here. Yeah, and Raw 25 was trash. What up, R Crump? Yeah, I think it's about Vince being back. If Rock backed out, I can't blame him. Because here's the other thing too, Sean. How could Rock say he didn't know about this? How long have we been talking about this, bro? The moment Hollywood was announced, we're like, yo, you gotta have Rock come in, and then this is where you do the match.
This is why you're the best in the business, Conrad. You think logically. There's no way this sprung up on, you know what, The Rock agreed in principle to show up at WrestleMania, and then he changed his mind because of the Vince fiasco. The Vince fiasco's been going on for months.
He was like, I got some paperwork to sign. But what I'm saying could have changed, though, was Vince being involved. They have a real, I think I mentioned this to you in text message. They have a real, like, tumultuous relationship. I think it's a back and forth kind of weird thing. Yes. WrestleMania 20, Vince did not believe in The Rock because Rock felt disrespected that you let my contract lapse. I'm The Rock. Like, do you know who I am right now? He was like, I'm making movies then. All right, I'll remember this. And then Rock went away for a while, but then he came back to put I think his father went in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I think that was why he came back the first time. And then he went away again for a while. And then he finally came back to address the people. I had to do it. I'm sorry. He finally came back to address the people, and they had him again. And he did the whole, we won't get into it. I don't want Sean ranting again about it. But
I'm chilling.
That's what ended up happening with it. But maybe there's a lot of drama with just people. Like somebody just mentioned Logan Paul. Maybe it's Vince. Maybe he doesn't get along with Hunter. We know how he is with Sean. He don't play with Sean very well either because of some past stuff. I don't know. It could be a bunch of things. There's a lot of garbage going on within this company, and maybe he doesn't want to be associated with it. Maybe Cena's going to feel the same way. We don't know. They have different lives that they're going to. Matt Lopez, don't you dare play around about something like that.
Oh,
not play around about that.
I just got chills. Yeah. I got chills in a bad way because of that one.
Right. Thank you, Crump. I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and at this point, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's more so into what else we have on this card here.
Absolutely.
We also have the match here with Lashley and what's his name? Austin Theory. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
They're going to be battling tonight for the United States Championship. Should be a fine matchup, I think. And then you've got Bayley and Becky, steel cage match.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be good. I think Becky and Bayley will do a good job. I think Austin Theory and Lashley will do a good job. Should I let the people know my prediction about the Hurt Business?
Go ahead.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's not a big deal, but I think that we're going to get a little bit of a surprise. Maybe tonight. I don't know. But I think that the Street Profits are going to join the Hurt Business. I think that they are going to turn heel tonight. I think both of them are going to turn heel. And I think it's going to be.
You keeping Shelton them in it?
I don't. That's the thing. I think that's the swerve. I think that Shelton and oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Help me out. Shelton and Cedric are going to be replaced with the Street Profits. And as much respect as I have for Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, that is an upgrade, the Street Profits in 2023. So my prediction is going to be the Hurt Business is going to be Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits. Obviously Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, obviously led by MVP and Omos.
Right. And thank you, BJ, for telling everybody. We got more people watching than likes. Help a brother out. Saw they switched Bobby in Theory to no DQ. Oh, I did not see that. See what I'm saying? You don't know what Raw these days. I just show up and I watch, and then I'm like, I thought this was a title match. No, it wasn't a title match. And people are yelling at me. I'm like, how would I know they changed this stuff on the dime? I guess it's not my fault, right?
And speaking of changes, don't get it twisted, because I'll be the first one to come on here next week and say I was wrong. Because for all the rant that I just did, the first segment, like when they right when World comes on the air, you might hear the Rock's music. You never know. I doubt it, but you never know.
And he might be Clash of the Podcast. I know you've been waiting for this.
Oh my God. Imagine he comes out with a Clash Podcast t-shirt.
I got to get those up. We got to talk about that afterwards. Yes. What up, Chad? I see you joining in here as well. Don't forget to hit that like. First hour commercial. Y'all better be playing, bro. Yo, how is this happening? We're on air. I don't even know what we're talking about.
You guys are awesome. Where the heck are you guys getting this information from?
The Twitter streets are real with some of these cats, bro. I follow some of them. They're out there. It's grimy out here. Hurt Business comeback. If the Street Profits don't put in Carmelo Hayes, I like Carmelo Hayes a lot.
No, I think
he's too similar to Montez.
No, read that again. I think what he's saying is that he likes Carmelo Hayes too. I think he's saying if you put the Profits in, you can't put in Carmelo.
Too similar to Montez.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I mean, well, at the same time, I wouldn't have a problem with both of them. I mean, it'd be double swag, you know?
MVP might smack us, though, because MVP Jive was like, yeah, let's just put in every black person that's in the company. And he went off. Did you see that little Twitter rant he had about it?
I did.
I mean, listen, I get it, bro. Listen, all I'm saying is I want the Hurt Business back, period. That's what I want.
I want the Hurt Business back the way Ransom talked about it and the way I just thought. I don't know if I believe in Shelton and Cedric to be, I respect them, but really, are we taking that? If they do it the way they did it before, are we taking it seriously this time?
To me, you have to have, and so if you're the writer of this, what is your goal at the end of this? What do you want to do? And that'll determine which team fits better. Because if you're just going to break it up in 6 months again, then forget, you know what I mean? Then just forget it. Get someone who actually is going to destroy them.
You know what I'm getting from this, though? Check the energy on this, bro. The Street Profits, or if you want to split them up, I don't want them to split up yet. I want them to both go heel. But let's say either Montez joins by himself or both of them join. A year from now, maybe Montez takes over the Hurt Business the way The Rock took over the Nation.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on what you want to do. What's the end goal that you want from this?
Wow.
And MVP better stay on as a manager. I think he is really good, and he doesn't get his flowers enough from the community, I feel. MVP is really good in that role. Let him rock. Yes. Like him with the cane, it all makes sense now. I love it. Little Master Fuji-ish, too. I like it. So let it rock. Sean, it is now time to discuss what I know you're ready. It is time for the Royal Rumble.
Rest in peace, Howard Finkel.
WWE superstars. We will have Kofi Kingston, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Coco Beware and Frankie, Andre the Giant, Mountain Dew Pitch Black match.
Wow. Listen to you doing old school bits.
I'm wilding.
Let's go. I like it.
But let's start off with the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Why not, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Why not? What is this gonna be, bro? Like, what is this gonna be? Anytime a match is advertised, I have fears, bro. I have great fears of what are you about to do here?
I mean, I think it's gonna pretty much be like a lights out match. I don't see it being anything crazy. I mean, maybe a lights out match with maybe like the blue coloring for his entrance, like surrounding the ring, like Kane used to have all red for his matches. Something crazy but cool like that. I don't know. I mean, you have to announce a stipulation. Like the fact that it's a whatever match, a whatever you just said match. Like there's no premise to what the rules are, and I'm assuming that I mean, this is the last SmackDown coming up this Friday before the show, so they're not going to probably announce any rules. They're just going to have to kind of wing it and see what we get. But I predict it's going to be like a lights out match with blue Bray Wyatt lighting in the ring or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I could see it where it's like the arenas. Listen, I'm gonna put you guys down. We're gonna step into the real world for a second. You cannot do a pitch black match in an arena because that's a fire hazard. Just so people know, you cannot do something like that. But what they could do is dim the lights, and I think that you can put a spotlight on Bray Wyatt and LA Knight, excuse me. I got lost in what I was going to call them for a second. And then I think you can do some really cool points to where it's like a light could pop up on something and it's like, oh, what was that? What is that? What's happening? And you could do some cool things like that maybe. It's all in how you lay this out, because if it can come off either really corny or really good, depending on how you do this and how you do it for wrestling fans, in my opinion. So we're looking at this. Listen, I think LA Knight's kind of our boy on the low. Like, we like this dude. When he cut his promo on Friday, I had to message Sean. I was like, yo, Sean, go to his TikTok, number one. He had the first crazy LA Knight promo where he was just going, yeah. He said it reminded him of Ric Flair. And I love, that's probably one of my favorite, besides the Teach Me How to Dougie TikTok. That is up there. It's one of my favorite TikToks that Sean made. And I really dug that promo. And like, ever since I saw that, I was like, yo, I like this dude. This dude's got a lot, like, he's taking attention away from Bray, which you feel like the feud was meant to put it on Bray. And I'm like, I'm watching LA Knight. Like, give this dude the mic. I'm listening to him. I'm like, I can get down with this.
Which is really why I think we both agree. I really hope he doesn't get squashed in this match. If he loses, he loses. But I want it to be a good match because LA Knight has really impressed me lately.
Who you taking for this though? I feel like the smart money is obviously
Bray. The smart money is to go chalk and say Bray Wyatt. I'm gonna say LA Knight probably ending up being wrong regardless, but I'm really hoping for an upset because I don't think a loss, if they do it the right way, is gonna hurt Bray Wyatt. I think a bad loss would hurt LA Knight. I think LA Knight needs this to solidify himself as a major player on SmackDown. I would love for him to win.
I listen, I think that you can get away with this tonight as well. I think a lot of people are putting too much onto, but LA Knight shouldn't win this, blah, blah, blah. You could win this. All you have to do is tell a story. That is what the object here of what we're doing is. Are you telling a good enough story for all of this to happen?
Absolutely. I agree with you.
So tell a story. Make it good, make it happen. That's how I see this. And a match that could possibly hold on, let me see if anybody else came in. Pitch Black reminds me someone better bring a flashlight. I heard it's going to have neon elements. What does that mean? Neon elements. So I immediately
like glow in the dark kind of swag. Yeah.
Okay. NXT with the glow in the dark masks. Okay, that's a weird way of phrasing it though. Neon elements. Kind of reminds me of The Rock. Yes. See, what up, Poe? Number one, I gotta show you some love, Popo. That's my dog right there. I love that dude. Matt Lopez says, which Bray showing up? I don't know. I feel like we're getting a new version of Bray. They teased both versions of him this past week.
Oh, let me interject this. I think this, like we talked about this on a couple about 2 weeks ago. We have to find out who Uncle Howie is. I mean, it's time. It's time. Like it's not fun anymore. Like it's corny now.
Did you hear the rumor of the Mania match might be Bray versus Uncle Howdy?
I've heard that, and I'm not a fan of it. I want them to be a faction.
What? Yeah, that's wild. What up, Sick? I see you over here on the Twitch side of things. LA Knight is going to get the most out of this match because he killed the promos leading up to this. I agree, McKinney. LA Knight for the win due to Uncle Howdy. See, I don't think it's that easy. I'm gonna take. So you're taking LA Knight?
I'm taking LA Knight. Probably gonna be wrong. I'm hoping. That's a pick with my heart.
I'm gonna go safe route. I'll take Bray in this one. That'll be our difference one, so that when we come on next week, we'll have some beef over it.
All right, fair enough.
Six says y'all talk about that Okada kick to the face turned into a shoot. We did not mention that. That is gonna be probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I like Okada being a badass. I like that.
I like Okada defending himself and taking that bull crap and handling business because that was wrong. That was a straight kick to the face.
Yeah. And it made you wonder, is this a shooter or is this for real? But Okada has jive been like putting down the Noah champion. Like, who? Don't waste your time talking about him. We got a show to promote here for New Japan. And even the New Japan announcers were being biased. Kevin Kelly, best play-by-play in the game, by the way. Check him out.
I think you might be right.
Ooh, Doug says, which version of Bray? All of them. Interesting.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll do that. I don't know. We basically what I'm with Sean on is we need to start finding out what is happening within this show. No more of the mess. And a match that links to this, I'm sorry, I was transitioning before, is this one. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. I have not been feeling this. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we're going backwards when it comes to what they've been doing with them.
What's there to feel? I couldn't agree with you more. You're 100%. You're 100% right. This buildup has been trash.
It's interesting. I don't know, like why? So you've had Uncle Howdy starting to appear on Raw, and he's in the background, and she sees it. Some people are yelling, "Get to the point."
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I don't know. I'm just over the. I don't know. I'm over the Alexa stuff. I think Bianca has to take this. Bianca's my pick. Like, you got to keep the title on her.
You know, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Bianca is going to hold on to the belt until she loses it at WrestleMania. I think she will lose at WrestleMania. I don't think she loses it on Saturday.
Derek said, "Hold the show. If Bray loses, I'm done." I hear you, D. Listen. He's a huge Bray Wyatt fan. I think he's at the point of frustration now.
No, listen, Derek, I agree with you. I mean, that pick for LA Knight was strictly with my heart. I just don't think that Bray losing this match, if they do it right, will hurt him. LA Knight is on the borderline of success. I don't want him to fall back into, Velocity or whatever show, the main event.
Right. You can't do that. I love the chat in here. They're going off.
The chat has been lit tonight.
They are. They're feeling it. So listen, where do you want to go with this next? You want to talk a Rumble or do you want to talk the world title match?
I think we should talk the world title match.
Here it is, baby. This is it. Roman Reigns will be defending both of them titles against Kevin Owens. Yeah, SmackDown had an interesting segment, and I kind of want your take on it. I didn't speak to you about this on purpose because I wanted to bring it up here. They had that contract signing.
Mm-hmm. Contract
was signed, and I heard an interesting theory about it, possibly. Not Austin theory, an interesting theory. I'm kidding. I like Austin theory. Don't send hate mail over here. But with it, they said Sami Zayn was holding the contract at the end, looking at Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the only one who signed the contract.
That's right.
What are your thoughts on that? What can you do with that going forward? I'm putting you to the test of put your Booker cap on. What do you do? How do you set this up?
Do
you change anything with this?
The way
Like,
I would
what's the
book it,
match?
the way I would book it, I'm sure the way you would book it is far beyond the pedestrian amateur hour booking that WWE has done. I think we would book it right. I think Sami Zayn somehow gets his name on that contract. That's what I think. And I think it
So
would be,
you're
and I think it would be absolutely amazing if that's what we're, if that were to be revealed, let's say tonight or Friday, that he's the one who signed the contract instead of Kevin Owens. I think it would be monumental.
now I've heard some crazy, I'm gonna say it, some bullshiggity reasons too why he put his name on there. Could it be that he wrote just for the this is wrestling, folks. Real contracts don't work like this.
Right.
But could he have just put it's for the WWE title and he noticed it? Could he have said Sammy is going to be your partner in this in a 2-on-1 match, but why would you want Sammy in? Because then that gives Kevin Owens the option to pen Sammy instead of Roman. There's a lot to this that you could mess with this.
But see, this is my problem, Conrad, and I'm not going to go on another rant. Only one rant per week. The problem is that there is endless possibilities, and there is endless opportunity to make this right. But do we trust that they're going to make it right? Are we trusting that they're going to do the right thing and make this thing entertaining? I don't. I think we're going to find out that he signed the contract backstage or signed the contract sometime over the weekend, and it's going to be Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns. I just don't believe they're going to do something funky with it, which they should.
Maybe it's us speculating too hard as wrestling fans. That happens often.
Too hard. I think we're being bookers that would put on a show that people would like.
Right. And there's nothing more of my favorite thing to do than armchair quarterbacking on a Monday.
Yeah,
Rob says, can we all agree that if this is creatively bad, Bray Wyatt is officially poisoned and the top guys that don't want to work with him are completely justified? Not that I'm wanting. Dang, that was harsh. I had to read that.
Wow.
Sammy writes in the contract the stipulation that helps or hurts Roman. Maybe could be. Maybe he changes the match type up to something that he thinks would be in Roman's favor, but it helps Kevin more.
Or maybe he makes himself the special referee.
It could be. We still got the Montreal show too coming up. Don't forget, there's still another pay-per-view before Mania.
Yes, sir.
What if during the trial tonight, Sammy offers to fight on Roman's behalf for the championship? Heck no, if you're Roman Reigns, you better not let that happen. You better not let that happen.
I like the idea, but I don't think Roman would go for that.
Man, I was about to play Hall & Oates. I can't go for that. You just no, you cannot do that. you cannot do that. Yeah. So give me Roman, man. I got to stick with this. I think Roman gets the job done. I don't think Sammy's getting beat up tonight either. That's another bold prediction. Sammy's not getting beat up on the trial. I think that it's going to be questionable, but I think by the end of the Rumble, Sammy is still showing his allegiance to the bloodline when that bell rings in this world title match.
Yeah, I've said it before, and Conrad, you're a witness to this. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think Bianca's going to keep her title till Mania, and I think that Roman Reigns is going to keep his title until WrestleMania 40.
Right? Bold prediction, but listen.
At least, let me clarify. Let me clarify. He's going to have at least one belt until WrestleMania 40.
Go back and check our prediction shows too. I definitely predicted. I'm still standing by this, so I might have to eat crow too. I said The Rock's not showing up at WrestleMania. I may have to eat crow, but I'll take that at this point.
Probably not going to eat crow because WWE blew it.
But I said that when it was still.
I just screamed at you for 30 minutes.
No. But I'm still saying if he shows up, everyone will be like, "Oh, bad prediction there, bro." I also predicted Vince wouldn't be back. What do you know? You know that's the Michael Jordan meme.
I knew he'd be back.
Yeah, you can't win them all, baby. You can't win them all. You got to make some bold predictions out here. Yeah. But listen, the Royal Rumble. When you look at the history of this event, I love the Royal Rumble. It is one of my favorite pay-per-views. There's so much excitement about it. It's always an interesting show, no matter what. You may be disappointed by it by the end, but it's always an interesting show. They always find a way to add something to the conversation, to do something within it. So with this, let's talk. Should we go? Let's go women's first, because I feel like there's less known about this, and I think it's harder to pick this year than anything.
Agreed.
Women's participants so far, Sean: Liv Morgan, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega, and our girl, Emma. I'm a fan of Emma.
Are you? I was.
She likes Tim Hortons coffee.
Okay.
I'll tell that story one day on the podcast years from now. But this is set up. I don't know, man. I don't know who wins this or what's. To me, they've pivoted away from what I thought the matches would be. I thought we were going to go Becky and Ronda, but I think they realized it's too late. That match has lost its luster. I think Shayna and Ronda are going to be the tag champs, though. I think that's the consolation prize for them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they'll win the belts and defend them. Well, either win them at WrestleMania or win them beforehand and successfully defend them.
Right? I think also Naomi is going to come back in this Rumble match. That's a prediction. Listen, I'm going out on a limb. I think Naomi comes back here and she makes an appearance, at least for the Rumble. One night. And Matt Lopez has taken my pick. I think Rhea Ripley is the one who deserves to win the Royal Rumble out of anybody. And I've made that prediction before, and I was wrong. I think Charlotte won that year. No comment. But I think Rhea Ripley is the winner.
Rhea's a cool pick and a smart pick. I'm going to go a little bit off track, and I'm going to say that I'm going to say I was thinking.
Let's do this. Do you have any surprise picks?
What, surprise entrance?
Yeah, like just showing up. Who do you think shows up that you would think would be a nice surprise?
Yeah, Lita's gonna come. Tori Wilson's probably gonna come. Kelly's probably gonna come. Mickie James might be there again. You never know, especially with her winning the title by surprise. I was wrong about that prediction, by the way. Hard to kill. There's a few people that might come out. Stacy Keibler might. Nah, Stacy Keibler's done. Not really Stacy Keibler. But yeah, there's gonna be a few people that come out. But as far as a winner, I want to say Bayley, but Bayley and Sasha have already had their feud. Bayley and Bianca have already had their feud. So
I don't want to see that match again.
How would they make that work if she won the Rumble and Bayley retained the title? I'll say.
In the chat, I'm seeing Asuka. I'm seeing some Mandy Rose picks. Go ahead, everybody.
You know what? Let's do something crazy. Let's say that Alexa Bliss pulls a Brock Lesnar and wins the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay. Some people are saying Mickey could show up. Gangster Dominic is helping Mommy win the Rumble. Grape Street Dominic, get out of here. Becky versus Charlotte at Mania because LOL. Asuka is the evil version of herself.
Time out. I'm bugging. Yeah, I'm bugging. Becky Lynch.
She's not in it. I think it's too obvious for Becky. That's why I went Rhea.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say okay. Well, if Becky's in it, I'm picking Becky, but I'll go with a weird one and say I'll say Alexa Bliss loses to Bianca and then enters the Royal Rumble and wins it.
I think we're all in agreement that no one from SmackDown is winning more than likely. But Asuka's an interesting one. Asuka's a good. I see a lot of people with the dark horse pick of Asuka. Give me Kana. Okay, more Asuka. The ballers from GTA, Dominic. That's what I think every time I see those stupid purple masks and stuff that they come out wearing. Grove Street, homie. Like, what are you doing?
I'm so stupid.
Oh man, these guys crack me up. I don't know, man. This is gonna be a good one for a Royal Rumble pick. Like I said, this one's gonna be tough to call. Tokyo, you are tripping. Mercedes Moné wins the Rumble.
Unless Mercedes got a crazy contract that no one's ever gotten before, unless she was able to negotiate a deal that nobody's been able to pull off ever.
Oh, Jason Marsh. I think he's saying Cora Jade might show up, and I think we'll see some NXT people pop up. I could see even Toxic Attraction, those two ladies popping up. Rhea's going to pull a Nia Jax. Oh, and enter the men's. That could have. I could see that too. If there was someone to enter the men's that they needed. Let's transition over to that. The main event, the men's Royal Rumble matchup here. What are you thinking for this one? This one's got a lot of potential surprises. Let me run off the names of who's in this one. We've got more here. So we've got Kofi Kingston, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, Omos, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, the Bang Bros, and Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross. Oh, I don't know. I don't see. I think for surprises, I'll make a safe surprise pick. So let's get these out here first. I do think we'll see Zack Ryder make his return in this Rumble. I should have said Chelsea Green too in that one. I'm also gonna make a bold one here. You can tell me if I'm crazy, bro. Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming out at like number 29 or 30.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I
think we hear the glass shatter and everyone's gonna stop and they're gonna be like, nah, he ain't coming out. And you're just gonna see the BMF walk. He's gonna get in the ring. Stunner. I just have a feeling that's gonna happen.
I'm gonna go chalk again. I've been going chalk all night, except for the LA Knight pick. I'm gonna go chalk again, and I'm sad to say it because I think they ruined it with all the vignettes. I think Cody Rhodes. Yep.
It feels like Triple H 02, doesn't it?
Yep, it does.
Yeah, and I feel like by Mania,
it feels like Triple H 02, but not as good.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna turn on him immediately, like they did with Triple H. They're like, nah, I'm not supposed to like this guy.
Yep.
Zack Ryder wins the Rumble. I'm kidding. Cody wins this dirty. Why would Monet change her name then win the Rumble? But hey, you never know. You never know. Andrade showing up. I don't think Andrade's going to be back from his injury by that point in time. I think he wants to be there, though. Stone Cold as a surprise entrant. Yes. Jay White, someone saying.
Not bad. Not bad.
That ramp is too long for a BMF walk.
I like that, ML. I like that.
It is in the Alamo. It is in the Alamo. Yeah, I think Cody's the safe pick at this point. I mean, if Rock was there, maybe there's the option of The Rock, and now people are starting that whole they threw money at Stone Cold. Matt brought it up before. Supposedly they threw money at Stone Cold for a match with Roman.
I mean, I would be cool with that, but obviously it's not as big as what it would be against The Rock. But I think right now we just need to focus on what we got right now. If Stone Cold shows up, let's all be pleasantly surprised. Del Rio's not coming back.
I don't think so either.
But at the end of the day, we'll see. I mean, Lesnar is a possibility. I see DH3 1992 talking about Brock. Muda, no. ML, that'd be cool, but no. And who knows? Maybe Lesnar will be in it. But if Lesnar wins it two times in a row and the third time overall, that'd be disgraceful.
No. And we're sick of seeing that match. Like, I don't want to see that match anymore. I'm trying to think here with Lesnar. I want them to tell some stories within this Rumble too. That's one of the arts that I think is missing sometimes. Like, I love when Pat Patterson would do it, and within the Rumble, Act 1 would have been like, maybe the mega powers have an issue with each other within the Rumble. Tell a story within. Maybe the Intercontinental Champion finds someone who's got his number in this and they dump him out. And he's like, oh, man, they're on the come up and they're going to challenge them for the belts later. I'm not saying they have to win, but I like stories within. Even when it's number 1 and number 2 were acts of smash of demolition. Like, well, I guess it's one of us. Let's go, baby. And they just started beating each other up.
I couldn't agree more. WWE's lost that art. I hope they refind it.
Ooh, someone said Sammy winning. Sammy being in it would be interesting. I think you have to have that in there as an option. At least he's got to come down to the finals, I think.
Well, that was my prediction. That was my prediction before. I told you, remember, about how Sammy's going to get kicked out of the bloodline. I think that Sammy's going to enter and Roman's going to be a non-entrant and enter the ring and throw him out.
I think also, though, that this is going to be a That would be a problem too, though. What I'm saying is Sammy hanging around too long may give people false hope. And then that becomes a problem. And then we get that whole Daniel Bryan, we're booing Rey Mysterio, even though he did nothing wrong type of reaction. Cena, Cody wins, but I don't think the fans turn on him. His story is pure hearted. He's going to be the mega baby face on both shows because of the chase. I think, Sean, hold on. Now I'm about to be Sean for a second. I think Cody Rhodes has been romanticized enough. All right. Yeah. Maybe he was justified and the Young Ducks and Kenny Omega and all them made him mad. Sure. Right. I've even come to the conclusion maybe he was justified for leaving, but that still doesn't doubt the fact that you told me come over to AEW. This is going to be the best. He started all that WWE versus AEW stuff. He would point at signs making fun of Vince. Don't let this man fool you. He is a heel. He is bad. Don't fall for this.
Opportunist is what he is.
Yeah. He learned from his daddy. He learned, baby. He knows from his daddy how to book. He knows you got to let Rock and Roll Express not get over. You got to do a 6-man with me, baby. He ain't gonna let you do all that. So listen, I don't love Cody like everyone else does. I think the WWE and some of their fans have romanticized Cody because he's the first one from AEW. What a coup for us. You ain't fooling me. You wouldn't have had this coup after this. They had a lot of money. Cody wanted a lot of money. That's what I think the situation is. BJ said adrenaline in my soul. Let's see. Will we get a tease for Lesnar versus Lashley?
Yes, we will.
I think we'll see that match again. Is it for the U.S. title, Sean?
It's for the U.S. title. It's for the U.S. title at WrestleMania.
I have a fear. Laughing my ass up. I'm gonna drop you off in a bad neighborhood like Del Rio. Yo, chill with that.
Sheesh.
We need a button for that. Sheesh.
Wow.
Can you see Pat McAfee in the Rumble? I do think Pat McAfee returns, gets eliminated, and says, hey, Wade, by the way, you're going to Mondays because that commentary team sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm back here with Cole. I think they're going to add Wade Barrett to Monday Night Raw's team, though, is my prediction. That's what I was thinking about that today.
I agree.
Yelling Hub. Imagine if Seth and Cody start off the Rumble. I could see that happening if Cody's able to go.
I could see it and I could like it. And you know what I also would like? I would like to see Seth Rollins go coast to coast and win the whole thing.
Somebody said Dakota is winning the Rumble. Derek, you're tripping, bro. Dakota Prescott, knock it off. I like how they did when HBK eliminated Angle from the. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Bring back those matches. I think Pat Patterson helped with that Rumble too, by the way. They're turning on Cody. You're just mad he won match of the year. Yo, don't get me started on those EPW polls. That was hot giggity garbage that Cody and Seth that Hell in a Cell won. Top 10, top 20 match, sure, no problem. But number one, come on, y'all. Democracy, though. I let y'all vote, so it's fair. I ain't mad at it. Just remember, when some bullshiggity goes down, you better not come back at me. You voted for it. Conrad is ranting on Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. That's what we do here. We keep it real with you guys.
Yes.
Derek said he wasn't justified. Derek is still angry about Cody. So Derek had a great TikTok that I put up last year with him getting mad. Scott Hall wanted Sting money. Cody wanted Punk money. That is true. Jay White debuts in the Rumble. And he said, y'all wildin'. No, dude. Cody Rhodes definitely rah-rah'd AEW, and then when he didn't get what he wanted, he went with his boo-boo face and left. This is just like the Jonathan Gresham. Don't get me started on that, too. He went out there and he boo-boo faced on Claudio's ROH title win. Listen, I like Jonathan Gresham like the next person, but when you come out there in a T-shirt with the championship belt, I knew he was cooked the moment he went out there. That was not good business. So, nah, you don't get away with that. Cody going back to WWE, it was like, thank goodness WWE finally had someone that I cared about because they were about to start pushing Omos. That's what it was. Let's not front. That roster is weak. It's been weak. All right? Don't get mad at me and Sean. Listen, we just coming out here telling you how we feel. All right?
That's it.
It's weak. Sean, what you got going on this week, bro?
Oh, man. Getting ready to talk about Tank Davis versus, oh, my gosh. Tank Davis's next title defense. I'm really excited about that. It's a situation where we don't know if Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis have signed on the dotted line. They haven't signed on the dotted line. And it's going to lead into a little bit of a conversation about the politics of boxing and how they have stood in the way of some of the greatest fights that we have never seen. Fights that should have taken place, like Riddick Bowe versus Mike Tyson. Fights that we should have seen, like possibly Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Fights that we should have seen, like Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. That and a whole lot more.
Right. Joel said, can't wait for Tank and Garcia. That is a fact. Yeah, and Sean definitely knows his boxing.
Yes,
definitely worth it. Cody versus Kingston was better than that match. Yeah, I went on a rant too that I didn't like that Hell in a Cell match for the same reason. But Cody's theme has been my alarm for like 2 years. I could probably sing it in my sleep at this point. Can you see Edge and Logan Paul showing up in the Rumble match? Yes, I can.
I can see Edge, but I thought Logan Paul was hurt.
He was, but it wasn't as bad as we thought from when we did the show, and we thought it was like ACL, MCL tears and all that. It apparently wasn't that bad, but he needed to rest for a while, they said, and like not do anything.
Okay, well, so if that's the case, if he's healthy, then I actually think Edge and Logan Paul's a safe prediction.
Gorillas of Destiny at the Royal Rumble. Could you see it? Maybe.
I could see it, but it's not going to happen.
I can see Hikuleo, but what? That's a rough debut then too. I feel like he's going to be put in NXT though, so maybe. Logan Paul's injury it's a work. Y'all better stop with it's a work.
Everything's not a work. Oh my god. Everything's not a work.
Listen.
Oh my god. Cody Rhodes' injury was a work.
Yeah, technically he did use it as a work in the match. Exactly. So that's what it's gonna be. But listen, we got some great events coming up. Me and Sean are gonna be here covering them for you. This is one of those weeks that somebody just wrote crypto scam ball. Knock it off in the chat. Listen, me and Sean are going to be here. We're going to be covering everything. Next Monday, you'll probably get our thoughts on this Royal Rumble. I'm hoping for a really good show on Saturday. I think we'll be going live. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure that you keep it locked with us here at Everything Pro Wrestling. Wednesday, we'll be live for AEW Dynamite. Got those graphics already in the works, so make sure you guys kick it with us then. And for myself, Tag Team Partner of the Year, Sean Hubbard, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. I know you guys will be keeping detailed notes to either give us our applause or cook us in the upcoming weeks with all this stuff that we've been ranting and talking about. Go enjoy Raw 30th Anniversary Edition. I hope it's a good show, and I hope you guys enjoy your week in pro wrestling. We are out. Peace.